Bossman Show. We're here with Tyson Hilton, the coach of the West Kentucky Hilltoppers there in Bowling Green, Kentucky, about an hour from my old stomping grounds of Nashville, Tennessee. Coach Hilton, how things up there in Bowling Green, man?
Oh, they're doing good, doing good. Got in the thick of the season and got a big game coming up against Army this Saturday at home. So I'm looking forward to this week's game.
Speaking of your team, you got a great win this weekend against Old Dominion. So tell me, Coach, what was the keys to getting that 23 win against Old Dominion, who's played a tough schedule so far against a great team like Norfolk State? They've played Virginia Tech and Virginia as well.
Yeah, it was a good win for us in our program. It allowed us to get to 3-0 in the conference. And, going up there against Old Dominion, like you said, they had played Virginia Tech, Virginia, East Carolina, some good ball clubs, and really felt like we needed to show up to the park kind of having an edge about us because it was going to be a tough game. But was really proud of our guys and how they played and had control of the game the whole time. And so it was a great team win, and, we're getting some momentum, and, hopefully that momentum can carry over this week against Army.
You got Army at home, Coach, and I know Army presents a different kind of challenge because, living in Atlanta, I saw Paul Johnson and Georgia Tech's offense running triple option, how it's hard to prepare for that offense. So going from Old Dominion to preparing for the triple option where Army presents to you, what's the challenges for your team getting them ready as you watch the film, try to get them from that? This is the thing we're going to see, the weirdest thing we see all year probably, this offense the Army runs here.
Yeah, like you said, you're going to probably only see it one time a year, and it's so unique. The game planning is really extreme. For us defensively, we got to make sure we put them in a second and long situation. Their offense with a triple option is built on 3-4 yard gains and sustaining long drives, and so we got to be able to limit them in their first down yardage and try to keep the ball going lateral. Don't let them get anything easy. And then, obviously, they eat up a lot of clock. And so our number of possessions offensively will probably be limited. So we got to make the most of our possessions. And really, it's about a game of not necessarily who has the best players. It's about who plays the best technique, who plays the smartest, who doesn't turn the ball over. So it's going to be one of those type of games this week.
Yes, indeed, and this is a week where scout team must be on point at all costs because this is an important scout week for scout team. This opponent is different, and then you'll see all year long. So you gotta get those guys on scout team really to get you guys prepared for what you'll see on Saturday as well.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. As good as your scout teams do, and our guys do a great job here, you really never fully get to see exactly how the speed of the game is going to be with an Army team. They run the triple option so well, and they do a great job cutting on the backside. And, those kind of things are hard to replicate during the practice week. So, but we'll do the best we can and, try to get our guys prepared and get them ready. But if they play assignment sound and play their techniques and trust their eyes and all those kind of things, we should be all right.
Now, Coach Hilton, I want to talk to you about you choosing to take the job at Western Kentucky last November. So what was it about the administration of Western Kentucky and the community bowling green that really said, hey, I've been here before, let me come back again and lead this program on my own this time?
Yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed the first time I was here with Coach Brown when he was the head coach. We had a lot of success and won some championships, and the community of Bowling Green is just an outstanding place to live. The university's great. They're extremely supportive of football, and, we got a great facility here, great stadium. And so, those things are hard to find when you want to be a head football coach. And I always told myself if I had the opportunity to come back here and be the head coach, I would jump at that opportunity, and that opportunity arose. And so I'm very, very blessed to be in the position that I'm in. And, this is a place that has the resources to win, wants to win, and so it makes your job a lot easier as a head coach.
You got that right. Having the resources and administration behind you are very key to success on the field. I don't think fans really don't realize how important it is to have resources for your team on off the field and the administration to back you, because without those two things, your program can only go so far,
Oh, yeah. I mean, our athletic director, Todd Stewart, does a fantastic job. He's extremely supported. He gets it. He understands it. He gives you what you need to be successful. And so it makes my job a lot easier. And then our players do a fantastic job, and their work ethic's tremendous. We got a great staff here, great support staff, and so all the boxes can be checked for the things that you're looking for to be able to win as a head coach. And it's fun right now. We got a team that is hungry to win, and they got a chip on their shoulder, and then. We're not the most talented team out there, but we play good together and we play for each other. So it's fun to be the head coach here.
And Coach Held, I think the fact that you've been there before helped with guys buying in, because you've been a hilltopper before. You know what it is to be a hilltopper. And I feel like coming in as the head coach now, guys, you may recruit those guys, some of the older guys while you was there previously, and know you from there. So I think that helps you getting guys to buy in, getting guys to come together as one, because when you come as a new coach, you have to really sell yourself and realize, I chose you. You might not have chose me, but I chose you. I want to be here to coach you going forward.
Yeah, it was really from day one for me when we had the first team meeting. I saw the look in the players' eyes, and they were bought in. They were anxious to win. They were willing to do what it takes to win. And it's still going to be a long, hard season. We still got a lot of football games to play, but I really like our team, and they know what you got to do to win. They're willing to put in the time. And like I said, it makes my job extremely enjoyable, and it's hard to. Every place doesn't have where players are willing to come to work every day. They enjoy what they do, and it's a great atmosphere to be in, and we have that here at Western.
And Coach, I realized from the notes here that you have 20 players on your roster from state of Georgia, which is a fifth of your roster. 6 of them right here in Atlanta, right here in the backyard. So I know Coach Lindsey's been very big recruiting the Georgia region. So talk about his impact of getting guys from Georgia to come to Western Kentucky, and kind of talk to the listeners here in Georgia about what it offers for young men who want to come play football at a high level. Conference USA for a coach like yourself who's been in many different places around college football as well, to help them develop as young men and as players.
Yeah, first of all, Coach Lindsey, we call him Mr. Atlanta because everybody in the city of Atlanta, coaching-wise, knows who he is. He's so respected that both as a recruiter and as a coach. And so, when he walks through the door and he's got the WKU logo on, it's, they know that at least the head coaches know and the players know that, hey, they're going to go to a place that they're going to be taken care of at Western, and that people are going to invest in them as young men. And we really sell here at Western the opportunity to have the best of both worlds, get a great, meaningful degree, and then also play a high-quality level of football. And we really sell the opportunity to become a champion. Anybody can go win a championship, but to become a champion in life, that's really what you're looking for. And Coach Lindsey does a great job of selling that vision. And we've like you said, we have over 20 guys on our roster from the Atlanta area. It's been extremely important for us. The level of football there is second to none. I really feel like when we get a young man from that area, he's kind of game ready. We got a couple young guys from Atlanta that are playing for us right now, and so the level of football is good. They understand what it takes to win, and then I think the entry for the student athlete that we recruit from the Atlanta area is they get to come to a great community in Bowling Green, Kentucky, in a town that is truly a college town, a place they know they're going to be safe, a place they know that they're going to grow and that's going to invest in them and their success. And you get to, come to a facility that's outstanding. It's one of the better facilities out there, a great stadium that's on campus. You get a fan base that's going to support you, and you're going to come away with a degree. And we don't only sell the vision of, hey, get a degree. We sell the vision of, let's go get a master's, because most young men are going to be here 4 to 5 years. And how we set up here, you really should come away not only with a degree, but with a master's degree. So I think it's a very easy decision for a young man and his family to say, why wouldn't you go to Western Kentucky? Because really you get the best of everything.
You got there, right? And the other young man, D'Angelo Malone, he's like leading the nation with 13 tackles for losses. I mean, that's great. With the City Grove High School, he is he leads FBS lineman with 9.2 tackles a game. I mean, this guy from Atlanta is playing lights out for you guys. Talk about a little bit about D'Angelo and what he's meant to your program since you've been there so far.
Yeah, D'Angelo has been tremendous for us. I mean, really, he's just an all-around great guy. Loves the game of football. A very quiet young man, but, highly, highly motivated. He's really everything that I'm just talked about. A guy that wants a great college education, a guy that wants to be successful in football, a guy that wants to be successful in life. And, he's really kind of the backbone of our defense right now. And, he was not a guy out of high school that, he was recruited and he had several opportunities to go to different places, but he was a little bit skinny coming out of high school. I want to say he was about 185, 190. Now he's up closer to 230. He's just a great example of a guy that's mature, grown, developing the program, and now all of a sudden he's a superstar. And, and there's a lot of kids like that in Atlanta and the state of Georgia, and that's where why we invest so much time in that area of recruiting.
And, Coach, I've told young high schoolers, this out of my own mouth, told them, hey, there's more to Georgia Tech, Georgia, and Georgia State and Kennesaw. You can venture out of Atlanta in the Georgia area and still play good, high-quality football. And I'm glad Coach Lindsey comes down here and gets young men from the city of Atlanta, brings them to a Bowling Green, a place where, like you said, they're safe. They can focus on their craft, get an education, hopefully a master's as well, because it's very key. Like, everybody's not going to go pro, but you will go pro in the game of life. And you begin becoming a great husband, a lawyer, a doctor, businessman, entrepreneur, whatever you may be. But getting the opportunity those 5 years at Western Kentucky to do that and mold yourself as a man for the rest of your life is very key and crucial for a guy coming from Atlanta as well.
Yeah, and the other big piece of that is, and there's a lot of great schools in the state of Georgia, but to be honest with you, sometimes it's good for a young man to leave the state, and we're not too far away. You're talking about a place that's about 4 hours away from the city of Atlanta. So it allows a young man to go venture out on his own. He's not so close to home where, some of the things that might come up, the issues that might come up being close at a closer university. He doesn't get that here. So, again, it's the best of everything. He's close enough to his family where his family can come see him play. It's a day trip for them. He's far enough away where he can kind of create his own life and do his own things. And so really all the boxes are checked when guys come here.
And what you said, Coach Wild, chose Tennessee State and not staying in here in Georgia. I went to Tennessee State on purpose to get away from home. And but not to be too far away, but I'm away from home. At least I got to deal with everything back in Atlanta. So I want to put an example of what you're describing.
But yeah, and to each his own, too. I mean, there's some young men that want to stay close to home, but as most guys, they want to start their own life, do their own thing. And if we offer the perfect location to do all those things. But like you said, Atlanta's been extremely important to us. Jimmy Lindsey does a tremendous job there. And, really the state of Georgia has kind of been the backbone for us in recruiting.
I think you can comfortably say it as a whole, Coach, because I know UAB comes into Atlanta as well. So Southern Miss does. I know Middle Tennessee does as well. Charlotte, of course, does. Some of the Florida schools coming into Georgia. So I think with the demographics of the Conference USA being from Virginia to Texas, Georgia is a great breeding ground of talent anyway because the conference is so expansive from El Paso up to North Virginia there.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of things that's great about Atlanta. Number one, it's an easy city to fly into, right? I mean, one of the most major airports in the country, so it's accessible for a lot of schools to recruit there and get in and out of there, and it's accessible for families and young men to travel to see universities, and so that's why it's such a hotbed of recruiting. Number one, it's great quality football. Two, you get, in Atlanta, there's a lot of people that aren't from the state of Georgia as well that have moved in to Atlanta. So they're willing to leave the state. And that's another thing that people don't realize a lot of times is sometimes people get upset, well, why is he leaving the state of Georgia? Well, he's not from the state of Georgia. He hasn't lived there his whole life. You get a lot of that in Atlanta. So, it's the combination of it being a huge metropolitan city, a huge airport that's easily accessible to get in and out of. And then I don't want to say it's a transient city where a lot of people are, not from there, but you do have a lot of folks that they may have lived in Atlanta a long time, but they're not originally from there, so it's easier for people to leave the state.
You got that right, Coach. I'm going to ask you some, Coach. Who has been some guys in the coaching industry who's really been good to you, personally, professionally, help you grow as a coach over your years, really help mold you who you are as a man as you coach your team going forward here?
Yeah, I've had an opportunity to work for some great coaches over the years. One of my first bosses was at University of Hawaii with Coach June Jones, who, was with the Atlanta Falcons for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And June, was just a great mentor and teacher of young men, and learned a lot from him. And then, I had the opportunity to work with my father, Kim Helton, who's, coached for 46 years, NFL and pro, and learned a lot from him. And then, just Tommy West, who's the head coach of Memphis for a long time, was great. My brother was great. I've, just over and over coached Callaway at UAB, and then there's been a ton of assistants as well. That I have so much respect for, that I've picked up things along the way. But it's like anything in life. Every boss you have, you learn a little bit from each one of them. And when you finally get an opportunity to have your turn to be a head coach, all those people have invested in you, and you take a little piece of all those guys and kind of implement it into what you do. But at the end of the day, you got to be you, and you got to do it your way. And so that's how I operate here. But I would say there's a lot of influence in what I do here that I've taken from people that I've worked from.
Get you out here easy one, Coach. We love to talk about food on the Bossman Show. We're kind of foodies around here. So what are some great spots to eat at if we come to Bowling Green to watch you guys play? What's some spots we can go eat while we're there to see the Hilltoppers get the job done at home there?
Well, if you come into Bowling Green, Montana Grill is probably the number one hot spot. It's kind of a mixture of everything. It's got the Great American, it's got the great steak and seafood and all that stuff. And then, there's another place, Hickory and Oak, that's another good little spot here. And, Lost River Pizza is another great spot. But, a lot of things people don't realize about Bowling Green. I don't know if this statistic still stands or not, but at one point in time, it had the second most restaurants in the United States per capita. We were second to Las Vegas. And I guess where we're geographically located, on 65, people traveling from the north to south and south to north, it's kind of the testing ground for all the major food chains. So anytime Outback Steakhouse wants to do something or change their menu or whatever, they come to Bowling Green to test it. So we pretty much have every restaurant known to man here, and a lot of people don't know that. That's kind of what Bowling Green's known for, is it's great eateries. So you got to get it back up here, man, and then come check some of this out.
I'm targeting that game against Middle Tennessee on the 30th because the Hawks are. We have a few days off. So thinking about trying to make that. I'm gonna talk to Brian about getting me up there for that game and see you can play Middle Tennessee on the 30th of November. Cause I think I'm off that weekend.
Well, good. Well, we look forward to getting you up here. You gotta come check us out.
Yeah, I still have a house in Nashville too, so it's not that far away from my house in Nashville. Still have my house up there, so it's not that far away from me either. Right up I-65, I'll be right there to see you guys, man.
Yeah, you got no excuses now. I mean, we're less than an hour from you in Nashville, so come up here, see some good football, good meals. You can't beat it, man.
You got there right. Hey, Coach Hill, thank you for your time today, man. Best of luck to you on Saturday against Army. I know it's going to be a tough week of prep, but I know you guys get it done, man.
I appreciate it. Thanks for your time. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome, folks. It's Tyson Hilton on the Bossman Show.
My heart skips skipping the beat. You're not close enough, so that space between you and me, let's lose it. The way you're dancing, swaying to the music, girl, that body and how you move it. Every time you cross my mind, girl, I lose it.
Alexa, play the Country Heat playlist.
Okay.
I don't think you know what you're doing to me. You got
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need.
Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
All right, folks, back on the Bossman Show. As I told you, got my buddy calling into the show today. My man, Paul Jones, NBC5 out there in Dallas, Fort Worth. He was in Nashville for a long time. Now he's doing it in Big D. PJ, how's life, man, in Big D, man?
It's busy, but it's good, boss. Great to be back on with you.
Yes, indeed. I want to talk to you about some tennis with you first, man. As you know, our man, Rafa Nadal, won 19 at the U.S. Open in a match that us both sweating bullets the whole 4 hours and 51 minutes with sweating bullets, man. I'm glad he pulled it out in 5, because thank God it was what it was. Because if he lost that match, it would have reminded me of Australia and the Wimbledon against Federer in 06, man. It would have broke my heart. Like
exactly. I know, in those other matches you referred to, he was ahead, he had it, he let it slip away, and ended up losing. And here he darn near let it slip away, but came up with a huge game, a final service game to win it 6-4 in the fifth. So, yeah, awesome. Great to see Rafa pull within one of Roger.
And as you said, pointed out so great on the day of the match, it was a game he was down 4-love on Medvedev's serve to change the whole match. It was a giveaway game. Medvedev with an easy error, and then Rafa digs in, gets the break, and gets a double break. Then he has to, and then it gets tight, but he keeps holds it for it 6-4 in the fifth there. Crazy match.
Yeah, when he faced another break point to get the match level at 5-all, I thought, oh my goodness, he's going to let this thing slip away, but he played a clutch point there, and then I think once it was deuce again, he only needed 3 more hits: a serve, a quick drop shot, and then a great serve that Medvedev hit long. So he closed it out quickly after a really tense moment in that final game of the match.
And it was shocking. John McEnroe says during the match, but I saw Rafa actually getting tired, where Medvedev was a stronger guy in the fifth set, and Rafa was the guy fading away, and the legs looking very weary. Even though he's played the less match, I'm like, wow, maybe the age of Rafa going 5 hours and not getting to him is over, because I'm like, I saw him getting weary in the fifth set as well.
Yeah, 10-year age difference, that's pretty big when you're talking about a 33 and a 23-year-old. And the way Medvedev sort of described it, he was just kind of playing on house money, because he had already planned his losing speech. He was ready to get off pretty quickly there, and he somehow managed to force it to 5 sets. So, yeah, he got re-energized when he won the third and fourth sets. And, and John McEnroe liked to say somebody had to dig really deep, and that was Rafa, maybe deeper than he's ever had to dig to collect major number 19.
Now, I predict this, PJ, is that I think he'll win Roland Garros again and get 20 at RG. But it'll be great if he get 20 at Australia, and he'll be able to hold at least all 4 majors at least twice. That'll be great. I feel like the U.S. Open now is Rafa's second home now in New York. People in New York appreciate how Rafa plays. And then the French Open, they love him, but they like Federer's elegance, his style where he glides. And Wimbledon is Roger's house. Australia is that guy from Serbia's house, I won't name. But I feel like the U.S. Open is Rafa's his true home, because the fans really love him and give him all the push and cheer for him like no other. And even with more that cheer for him at RG.
Yeah, I mean, it's amazing, because everybody thinks of Rafael Nadal as a clay court guy, and he certainly is with 12 Roland Garros titles. But to win 4 U.S. Opens shows you that his game is so much more than just about the clay. And frankly, he's really been owed a lot more at the Australian Open than he's received. He had the match against Federer that you alluded to earlier, where he was up 3-1 in the fifth. Really, he should have won that match. He should have 20, and Federer should have 19. But give credit to Federer, he rallied to get that match. But also the match against Stan Wawrinka in the Australian Open final, where Rafa had, I believe, a back issue at some point in that match. It kind of hurt him a little bit, so he was upset by the Stanimal. But really, I mean, Rafa should have 3 Australians by now, the way I look at it, which would easily put him in front of everybody. I think his bigger concern, though, in the overall big picture is going to be Djokovic more than Federer, given Federer's age at this point and the fact that Djokovic is
closer to Rafa's age, and Djokovic is playing so well now that he's back from his elbow issues.
Exactly. Also, basically, Djokovic, PJ, remember, he was up in the fourth set that long match they played in Australia, too. And the fifth set, he's up a break, too. So he could really have four, if you ask me, in Australia.
Yeah, no, that's a great one. What gets me is how a guy as accomplished as Rafael Nadal is when it comes to professional tennis still manages to get tense, tighten up, nervous to where it affects his play in the late stages or key moments of a match. A guy that's won that many majors, obviously he's got the skills to deal with that kind of stuff, and you'd think he'd have the confidence knowing that he has responded well in those tight moments, but sometimes it still gets to him, and that really amazes me.
And I'm amazed about how I didn't realize how close him and Tiger Woods were. I had no idea they was that close, and they were buddies, and they talked to each other outside of the sports, and they text and talk. I had no idea they was that close. I thought Tiger was a Fed guy at first. Now he's a Rafa guy.
Yeah, that's interesting because you're right. At first he showed up in Federer's box seats for matches, and then at some point you stopped seeing him at Federer matches, and he started popping up at Rafa matches. And, you know, it makes sense because Rafa is a huge golf fan. And, you know, Rafa probably has idolized Tiger Woods throughout the years. They probably played a round or two together, and they've struck up some sort of friendship. And that was one of the most memorable moments at this year's U.S. Open in that match against Marin Cilic when Rafa hit that amazing shot around the post and in toward the late stages of that match. And they cut to Tiger Woods up in the Rafa section, and Tiger's doing the pump fist like he's just drained a 20-foot putt at the Masters. It was just great, and the post-match celebration and conversation where they kept cutting to Tiger Woods was fantastic. That was, to me, one of the most memorable moments of those 2 weeks in New York.
And I enjoyed the Laver Cup too, PJ, seeing Rafa coach Federer and coach Zverev and team, and them coaching Rafa as well. I thought this Laver Cup to me is really exciting. I like the format of it where you see guys losing, and Nick Kyrgios, and I didn't act like a butthole for once. He was actually a team player, coaching his guys, keeping them engaged. So I'm like, this Laver Cup is going to be really great. I guess the ATP Cup coming in January down in Perth, Brisbane, and Sydney is going to be good as well.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Laver Cup as well, and what a great opportunity for the world team to actually win it this year. It came so close, had its chances, played really well. I mean, kudos to John McEnroe for getting those guys going. And, you know, I remember when it first began, I think Team Europe had like 5 or 6 players that were in the top 20, and Team World had like maybe 1, if I'm not mistaken. And they really, really played well. In an overmatched situation, they really made it nerve-wracking on Team Europe, and Team Europe had to really rally there late to get the victory. And once again, it came down to Alexander Zverev. He may not be doing so well in the majors when it comes to his individual play, but when he's had to step up in a team format like that in the Laver Cup, that's 2 times in a row now where he's closed it out for Team Europe.
You got that right. You know what's crazy, PJ, is that I should be cheering for the world, but I'm cheering for Europe because my guy Ralph's on the team. So it's kind of weird that I'm cheering for Team Europe, and I'm a world guy, obviously.
Yeah, you know, I was going to be okay with whoever won that. You know, I thought it would have been good if Team World had won it just for a change of pace, get them their first win in the Cup. But certainly not upset to see Rafa's team bring it home again either. It was really exciting.
It changes up for you. The Dallas Cowboys, PJ, 2-game losing streak, but I think they'll be okay. They had to have a second bye week in New York Jets this week, so I think they'll be okay to get healthy with that. So, what are your thoughts on the Cowboys? They beat who it's supposed to be. They beat the Giants, Redskins, and Dolphins. You know, teams that are three teams that are winless on the schedule with the Jets, and you got the Dolphins and the Redskins, but what are your thoughts on the Cowboys so far? Is it just a work in progress to kill more and kind of getting Chris Richard and the defense to stop the run now, not so much chase the passer, but I feel like they're using like Van Der Esch's and Jalen Smith's aggressive against them in that run game there.
Yeah, the run game really let them down. The run defense against the Packers, Aaron Jones gobbled up yardage against a defense that's normally very good against the run. Leighton Vander Esch, the second-year pro, out of Boise State, he had, by his own admission, a really, really bad game. They had a lot of gap issues, which was evident seeing Aaron Jones, carve through them like cheese, pardon the pun. But they're going to have to get that cleaned up. You've had 2 games now, back-to-back against the Saints and the Packers, where the Cowboys played teams that were decent, if not very good, in the NFC. And prior to that, in their 3 wins, they beat teams that were combined 1-8. So it was a little misleading, that 3-0 record, I think. I don't think, I think all the talk about, it's time for the Super Bowl finally after all these years, that was way premature. But I also think losing to the Saints in a tight game and making that Packers game interesting, it's too soon to say that the Cowboys are done just because they've lost those 2. But they're clearly going to have to, as Jerry Jones put it yesterday in his own words, they're going to have to play better. And they're going to have to play better against these teams that are in the upper echelon of their conference and in the league overall.
Because the NFC is a very deep conference, if you ask me. Because I thought for sure with Drew Brees out, the Saints would be going down in flames. Then you have the 49ers undefeated right now. Seattle's playing out of their mind with Russell Wilson right now. Also, Tampa's a tough out as well. Carolina's even 3-2 without Cam Newton, which is shocking. The Bears are the Bears, and the Vikings are kind of do it. They kind of hang around that second wild card spot. So the Cowboys have to come, and Philadelphia's getting healthy with Deshaun Jackson coming back here real soon. So it's like the Cowboys have to really beat these upper echelon teams and get their house in order to get a good spot in the playoffs. And losing to Green Bay and losing to the Saints hurts you with those tiebreakers for those home field advantages in that playoffs there.
Yeah, that's a great point, boss. And they definitely have a lot of work to do. It's funny how quickly the conversation can change, because when they were 3-0, there were so many pundits on all the NFL shows that you see on television and here on the radio talking about how the Cowboys were probably the best team in the NFC. And now after these 2 losses, people aren't saying that anymore. But again, it's early in the season, and we're not going to learn a lot more about the Cowboys after this next game coming up, because as you pointed out, you have a bad New York Jets team that has yet to win a game this season. They have a quarterback who's going to be rusty coming back from mono in Sam Darnold, so who knows what he's going to bring to the table. So we probably won't find out a lot about the Cowboys this week unless they lose somehow to the Jets. Then we're going to really find out something that a lot of Cowboys fans don't want to hear or learn, and that is that maybe they aren't that good. But I don't see that happening. I think the Cowboys will handle the Jets, even though it's a road game for Dallas.
I got a couple more for you. Both of them deal with contracts at Prescott. What are you hearing numbers going to be for Dak when eventually the Cowboys have to pony up and pay Dak the market value for quarterbacks right now?
I mean, it's nothing's been nailed down for sure, obviously. They're talking somewhere between over $30 million, $34 million, somewhere around there. After the first 3 weeks of the season, there were a lot of people saying, hey, he's in no rush to get anything done, because if he keeps playing the way he's played in these first 3 weeks, that number could go even higher than maybe what it was before the season began. Now, after the last 2 games, he had 3 interceptions against the Packers. Maybe he's come back down to earth a little bit with his performance. So who knows what kind of impact these games are going to have on Jerry Jones when it comes time to finally figure out exactly what he wants to pay Dak. But Jerry is still very much in Dak's corner. He has not lost faith in number 4, despite these 2 losses. He still sees a lot of great qualities in Dak, great leadership qualities, Dak's ability to make key plays in times in a game. He did that against the Packers on Sunday, even though they lost. It was an incredible comeback, coming back from 31 down in the third quarter to make it, a 10-point loss. So Jerry Jones has not lost faith in Dak Prescott. I think if Dak can pick up his play, get back to where he was in the first few weeks, and carry that throughout the season, he's in, obviously, for a huge payday. And there probably wouldn't be a lot of people that would argue with that he deserves it.
We're heading for a Prescott franchise tag and Amari Cooper transition tag to try to keep them both their rights with the Cowboys, because I know Jerry Jones and still wants to keep both of those players. That he says he's been a first-round draft pick for Cooper. He wants to keep him as the number 1 receiver for that offense there.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to play out. I know that the franchise tag is something that the players never want. It didn't go over too well with Kirk Cousins in Washington. When he finally got his chance to leave, he did. So Jerry Jones has not been afraid to open up the pocketbooks. I mean, he did it with Zeke Elliott after Ezekiel Elliott held out all of training camp. Jerry Jones realized what he meant to the team and finally opened up his wallet and paid Zeke the money that many people feel like he deserves. And I think he'll do the same thing for Dak Prescott. Again, that's barring some sort of bizarre turn of events the rest of the season where, Dak doesn't look like he's a top-tier quarterback, but I don't see that happening. I think he'll play well, and I think he's going to earn that big payday, and I think he'll get it from Jerry.
I hear that with Peter. Good to catch up with you, my brother. Miss you in LC in Asheville, man. Boy, I'll catch you real soon down the road here somewhere, my good brother.
No Porzingis talk today?
Nope. I'm up against the break today.
You better go. Let's do it now.
Yeah, hey, I'm getting the whole, break time from behind the glass.
Okay. Go do your Frank. We'll talk NBA next
All right,
time.
man. Hey, PJ, have a good one, brother. Talk to you real soon, man.
Thanks, boss, for having me
this
on.
is Paul Jones. Show.
It's maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Alexa, play Kendrick Lamar and SZA.
Okay.
Maybe the night that my dreams might let me know. All the stars are closer.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
All right, folks, back on the Bossman Show. After season full effect, my man Phil Dean, Fox Sports Southeast down in Memphis. Phil, what's good in 901, man?
What's going on, boss man? Good to hear from you again. How are things in ATL?
Man, we have a preseason full effect here, man. Excitement base in Atlanta. Building our Falcons to a 1-4 and going nowhere fast. But the Hawks have some excitement here in the ATL, man. Trey, then the guys don't get it going for us. Hopefully they'll win this year 35 or 40 games at best.
I think that's how things are looking in Memphis right now as well. It's very exciting times for two young, hot teams in Memphis and in Atlanta right now.
Yes, indeed. And for folks in Atlanta, we know about Coach Jenkins. He was on the Coach Bud staff here with the Hawks. Is he implementing the same offense that we saw in Atlanta, that pace and space offense? Is that what Coach Jenkins is trying to do in Memphis now with the grit and grind era officially retired and sent on his way?
That's what it's looking right now. Jenkins is doing as much as he can with the young rotation. I mean, he's going full young force right now with Jaren Jackson, John Moran, Brandon Clark right now. And then you got Dylan Brooks coming in, starting at 2 for the first preseason game, and then playing off the bench last night. So he's playing a very young core. We haven't how it looks with Jonas Valanciunas yet. We don't know when he will. He might be playing on Monday. We don't know the latest yet on him right now, but he's going full young force here. I mean, the Grizzlies general manager Zach Kleiman, when he was meeting with media on media day, and he was asked about the Andre Iguodala situation, he jokingly said, "Look, I can't have anyone that's older than me on this roster." So, so everyone got to laugh with that. It's just so right now Jenkins is going with the full young Grizz right now.
I hear that. So what does that mean for Kyle Anderson and Jay Crowder? Will they be key bench guys for the Grizzlies this year? So probably not going to start, but will they be key guys off the bench, kind of help grow these young men, Brandon Clark, John Moran, and Triple J there?
I think with Crowder, I think he's going to be able to earn a starting position. I think he works very well on the. He likes working with Jared right now and helping him develop his game. He's told him. He said at media days he's described himself as a library to Jared of like, you come to me for any questions you have about the game. I will help you grow. With Kyle Anderson, last night he played his first game since January. He didn't look his best, but he said he felt out of gas. He felt gas running up and down the court. But I think that's just from not being. I mean, when you haven't been conditioning for 8-9 months, it's going to do that to you. But I think I wouldn't be shocked if he starts the season off the bench, but once he gets his legs back, I mean, there's a good chance a guy like him would need to be in the starting rotation.
And Tyus Jones, I was shocked that the Grizzlies signed him to that deal off season. So is he going to be the backup point guard, or will he allow Ja to play some two when he's in the game, running the one with those reserve minutes there?
I think there's a good chance that, like, late in the game, I think you could see those two playing together. But right now, I mean, Tyus is the backup point guard. Taylor Jenkins is fully committed to Ja Morant and letting him being the starter, and it's proven so. I mean, Ja had 10 assists last night in 20 minutes, and he's fully invested in Ja. Of like, hey, you be the floor general out there. Don't worry about if you make mistakes are going to happen. You're a rookie. So, and that's why we brought a guy in like Tyus that's going to help you out as well.
Exactly. And what I saw Taylor talk about is everybody playing positionless basketball, just having 5 guys out there who can play athletes, long arms, where there's no set position. We're positions out here. We're playing fast. We're playing with no regard. We're just getting up and down the court, causing trouble. They're running gun grids. And I like what he's talking about. Do you think that with a subject team this
I've got the perfect point guard to do that with Ja Morant, and I've been trying really hard, Bossman, to try not to get really hyped about Ja. I just want to see how it goes. But the past 2 preseason games, this kid's ready. I've never seen a point guard this quickly have this type of court vision that Ja Morant has right now. I mean, the way he's able to see players come and find them quickly and learn and be a floor general so quickly. I mean, he's ready for the NBA, and I'm really interested to see how he does once the season starts.
And how was his long-range game being shooting threes for the Grizzlies? I know in college he shot some threes in the Murray State, but the NBA line is a whole different animal. How's that shot looking from the NBA line for Ja Morant?
It needs work. He hasn't really gotten many chances to shoot the long ball. Jenkins has really had him working as just make cuts, get to the butt, and get to the lane, and find the guy. He hasn't really worked on his long game yet. I think that's something as well that Jenkins is wanting Jaren Jackson to work on. I think because he had his struggles from the 3-point line as well, and that's something Jenkins is wanting him to develop. And Bickerstaff didn't really help him with that in his first year, but that's something he's told him. Look, I need you to develop your 3-point shot right now. So, but Ja, I think he's going to get more chances to shoot the long ball in the next couple of preseason games. I think he wants to see how he does against NBA teams.
Exactly. And Bruno Caboclo could be the backup 5 already as well. There has to understand Bruno Caboclo being the backup 5, but if you want to play fast, that's smart. He can keep the pace going against those reserves and second guys. It's not really any dominant backups in the NBA anyway. So it's like Bruno with the 5 as a backup 5.
Yeah, that's where it's looking like right now. There's a lot of people wondering what going to be on the roster heading to training camp, but Jenkins has the vision for him to be the backup 5. I never thought that. I saw on the course. He really could be the backup 5 for the Grizzlies. I mean, the center has totally changed on how we look at centers in the NBA, and I would have never thought to have picked to have Bruno Caboclo as a center for the NBA.
Yeah, and I'm thinking this field that Plumlee, who I know from the Hawks, and even Rab is not going to be there. So it's one more guy to cut. Now, I don't know who that guy's going to be, but I just don't see those 2 guys being there. If you're going to make Bruno the 5, backup 5 behind JV, you can't have Plumlee on the roster and Ivan Rab as well.
Yeah, Ivan Rab is in a very weird situation right now where if you send him to the G League, he's going to do really well there, but he's too good for the G League, but he's not good enough for the NBA right now. And I like Ivan Rab's game a lot, and he helped out a lot last year with the Grizzlies when they were struggling. But they're in a weird situation, and the Grizzlies are with the Andre Iguodala situation. They're not worried about it. I mean, they're just like, look, we can, if we need to cut Ivan Rab, we have to. I mean, with this. We can't just go ahead and just cash out Iguodala just so we can keep Ivan Rabb. We can get something out of Iguodala. We can get some draft picks out of him. So we just have to cut ties with Ivan.
Exactly. I hate to say it, but I know he did great. Like you said, he's kind of that no man's land. But hey, it's the nature of the beast. Hopefully, somebody would pick him up because he could play if he's developed his game right. He definitely can play. And also, the coaching staff that Taylor put together is real interesting. He kind of took the coach from the Hustle, brought him on the roster. Got a coach from Notre Dame as well. A guy from Ohio State. So. Speaking of Taylor's staff, how do you like the staff coach they can put together to help develop these young Grizzly players into great players, hopefully down the road?
I think Jenkins has developed a very well done staff here of just developing talent. Zach Kleiman said a week or so ago at Media Day that their goal, they don't have a number of how many wins they want to accomplish this year. This is all about developing their talent. This is the start of their rebuilding process, and when they want to see what they're at, they want to bring a young core in, and they want to see if they can get a veteran player or two to help be a role model for these guys. And Jenkins has done a wonderful job building this staff.
Yes, indeed. Last one I got, if you feel, is this. I've been seeing the buzz on my Memphis people on Twitter and Facebook about the Grizzlies more than I've seen in a long time. So what's the buzz been like for you covering the team and for you being right on the ground with Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson Jr. lead this team going forward?
It's very exciting right now because a lot of fans are upset. I mean, once the Mike Conley trade happened, that was officially the end of grit and grind. But if there was ever a time to replace Mike Conley, this was the time, and Ja Morant is the right guy. And building with him and Jaren Jackson and Brandon Clark too. Brandon Clark is a very athletic player, and I'm very impressed with what they're building right now. I mean, this is their future. I mean, they tried to make a new Grizzlies with Mike Conley and Marc Gasol and Chandler Parsons. That didn't work out, so they decided, like, we have to clean house, and we're going to start with Jaren Jackson and Ja Morant. And those are the two guys that this franchise, I mean, fans could get behind, and they're behind them. I mean, there's so much buzz going around in Memphis with Grizzlies basketball going. And now with Tiger, and there's a lot of buzz with Tiger basketball, with what Penny Hardaway's building, with James Wiseman and this top 5 recruiting class. It's a very exciting time here in Hoop City. It's going to be a lot of fun to cover this Grizzlies team.
Yes, indeed. And Phil, I saw some of your misery. Chandler Parsons in a suit. That's in a row. So. I've seen what you dealt with for 3 years there. Him in the suit, looking like he's a pretty boy, ain't got a basketball thought in his mind. I'm like, Lord help us.
Oh man, how do you feel about?
I'm trying to be nice to the guy. But I look at him like, you're just a waste. I know what you did to the Grizzlies. You're a waste. Like, why are you here? Go away. I knew I should say that about a Hawk player, but I swear he's in a suit, his little chain on, looking all like a pretty boy. Like, man, really? What are you doing? He's out low management. Well, he hasn't done anything in 3 years. He's been low management forever. Like, what is he doing? So I feel Grizzly fans' pain the last 3 years to see him walk around the Hawks here for the last 2 weeks. Lord help us.
How do you feel about Cam Reddish?
He's going to be a good one. It's got to get him a little stronger, and it's going to be interesting how him and Herter go back and forth, because Herter is our shooting guard right now. Reddish wants that position, right? So we got to see, because we could be starting Collins, Lynn, Trey Young, Herter, and DeAndre Hunter. So Reddish is off the bench right now. So we got to see what Evan Turner's our backup point guard. Vince Carter's a backup 4. Damian Joseph Vanderbilt a backup 5. And the 3-man, we don't know who that's going to be yet. So that's where we are in the Hawk world. But Parsons will not be part of the rotation. I'll tell you that right now. He'll be on the bench in a suit every night. That's his job, suit. But
Man.
Cam Reddish could be very good, Phil. I think he could be. But I think he's going to be competing with Herter for that starting spot next to Hunter and Collins and Lynn and Trae Young. But we'll see. But I figure the Hawks will have a decision down the road. Phil, you remember how the Seattle was with Durant, was what OKC was? All this young talent. But who do you eventually pay? I see that happening to us down the road here in a few years, honestly.
Yeah.
These young guys we have around here.
I like that core there. I think Cam Reddish, once he puts some muscle on, I think he looks like he will be very explosive in the NBA. I'm really excited to see what him and Trae Young do together.
Yes, indeed. Well, Phil, I'm looking forward to my trip to Memphis in March for the Hawks game, but I got to find a way to Memphis to see these young boys. I mean, one of these Hawk off days to come see these guys play, man, because I'm excited for it. I've already heard Ross and Jason. I'm going to be hitting you up more often than I have in the past few years, but I want to see what y'all got going on over there in the 901 again.
Absolutely.
It's exciting to get over there.
Absolutely. I got to make a trip to ATL as well.
Man, Phil, you come on down. I know I got you, brother. Yeah, I do. I got you. Come on down. I got you, buddy.
Let's
you
do
already
it, boss
know.
man. Let's do it.
Yeah, consider it done, my brother. Consider it done. Hey, Phil. Hey, man. Best luck to you guys. Give me and remember my best man. Look forward to what Southeast joining. Yeah, partner. Hammer. I love y'all guys. Yes, indeed. Y'all guys still on fire, man. Y'all still my guys, man. Phil, have a great day, man. Talk to you soon, my brother.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
All right, Phil Dean on the Bossman Show.
Till the tears run down from my eyes, Lord, somebody, ooh, somebody, can anybody find me? Somebody to love.
Alexa, play hits from Queen.
Okay.
Somebody to love. Somebody.
With Amazon Music, a voice is all you need. Get tens of millions of songs. Download the Amazon Music app today.
All right, folks, back in the Bossman Show. Got a special segment for you, Help the World segment. We're going to talk about pregnancy for first-time moms. I got somebody who's an expert who's going through it right now. He can talk from first-hand knowledge. Wealthy Freeman. Her favorite song is Handsome and Wealthy by the Migos. I'm just letting y'all know that. She got it going on. She's going to talk to y'all about this because Lord knows I ain't got no knowledge about none of this stuff, but she going to break it down for you ladies. So, Wealthy, what's good with you? How you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Man, I'm making it, just trying to grind it out here, making it out in these Atlanta streets here, make this radio thing pop off. You know what I'm saying?
Sound about right. Thank you for having me today.
No doubt, no doubt. Well, like I said, I want to have you on the show, kind of help our female listeners out here who are currently going through pregnancy, who want to have babies in the near future, because this is a time of year, Thanksgiving, Christmas, Valentine's Day, when babies are made. So there's a lot of babies coming in 2020 for sure. This time of year, so
well,
you know what time of day it is.
And from looking at my my social media, this really was a hot girl summer.
More than in more ways than you was hot. You was big and hot the whole summer, obviously.
Actually, my baby was conceived in the winter, so I was already pregnant when the summer hit.
Which I think if you can, you want to have had the baby like in March, April, when it's not too hot, because you want to be in your last trimester when it's 100 degrees outside and humid as God knows what.
True. But I mean, like they say, every pregnancy is different because, a lot of my cousins, when we did come out and tell our family, they were just like, oh my gosh, it's going to be a hot summer. You're going to be miserable. And I'm like, man, don't say that. Like, don't wish that on me. But true enough, we had a hot summer, but I wasn't miserable. Like, I was just fine.
Okay, and I know you told me that every pregnancy is different for each woman, so if you can expound upon that, because I feel like too many ladies out here read these books and blog sites and get all scared and confused and get all bent out of shape. So, as going through it right now, what do you have some advice for the first-time moms who want to get pregnant in the future, like about how it's different? No two pregnancies are the same. You got deal with it on your own 2 feet right there.
Right. First and foremost, once again, all pregnancies are not the same. Every woman's body is different. Um, please, 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 ladies, stay away from Google when trying to figure out, what's going on with your body and trying to diagnose, okay, well, this is wrong, that's wrong, whatever, whatever. I would personally say stay in contact with, your doctors, your nurse, and if there's a legit medical site, then definitely, read upon those. So far,
No doubt.
I haven't had any problems, and here it is. I'll be 9 months on Sunday.
Wow. Wow. Look at you. Like I said, you've pretty much ran the whole race without any issues, and you just going to your appointments, and just dealing with your doctor like that. Because I suppose as you're getting closer to delivery, you're going like once a week or twice a week or something like that, right?
It was twice a month, but now they're about to have me come in like every 2 weeks.
Wow. So it's a go time. So are you scared of the whole having the baby process? Or are you excited for that part of it? Because I know some women tell me they freaked out by it. I'm like, well, I guess it would freak you out, I guess. But are you kind of playing out in your mind, or getting ready for that experience?
I have been, playing out a lot of different scenarios. I think the funniest thing to me, and especially my husband, like, we're curious to know, where am I going to be? What am I going to be doing when my water breaks? That's the funniest thing. A lot of my coworkers think that it's going to happen at work before I go on maternity leave, which, Lord, I pray it doesn't. But excitement, yes. I was nervous about labor and delivery at first, but I've kind of gotten over that. And ladies, please, 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 I know every woman or every friend or older woman that they share their labor and delivery stories, and some of them it was excruciating, some was painful. I mean, again, every woman is different, so hear the story, but don't take them and run with them, because that's not necessarily going to be you. I've been told many, as I call them, horror stories about labor and delivery. But as long as you go through your pregnancy doing what you're supposed to do, labor and delivery should be fine. Like, a lot of women feel like, oh, once they get pregnant, if they were already working out or in the gym, oh, well, I got to stop working out. I got to stop, going to the gym. No, you don't. All you have to do is be in communication with your doctor. Your doctor will let you know what you can and can't do. Your body will definitely let you know what you can and can't do. As long as you don't try to push yourself, you can still work out. I have a friend. She worked out her entire pregnancy and yoga. And I mean, this girl was 7 months pregnant doing headstands, and her doctor was telling her she was just fine. Now, I cut back on the gym, but I still work out. I do yoga at home. I walk. Any type of stretching, squatting, like home videos. I still have my own method of working out. Like, I didn't just sit still and do nothing. And then also, you want to make sure that you change your diet, not too much. A lot of women will tell you, oh, well, let me rephrase that. A lot of people will say, oh, well, you're pregnant, you're going to have cravings, you can eat what you want, this and the other. You can, but at the same time, be cautious. I mean, I'm not saying just be a health rat. It's okay to give in to the cravings, but you still have to make sure that you're taking in the right number, the right amount of nutrients and vitamins and supplements that your baby needs. A lot of things that you used to could eat, you might not be able to eat. Like, I haven't eaten beef in years. I've only eaten like turkey, chicken, fish, seafood. But since I've been pregnant, I can't eat turkey. I can eat beef again. So it varies.
Yeah, I can only imagine, like, from each woman is different. Each situation is different. I can only imagine that, like, You got to kind of play it by ear with your doctor, your body, your
Mm-hmm.
scenario, your situation. It's kind of like a relationship, you know. No two are the same. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's all different. You know, there might be similarities, but ultimately, what ticks in X, Y, Z ain't gonna be what it is in A, B, C. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think what I'm hearing from the ladies that reinforcing your point is that you have to kind of find your own way.
Yeah,
Go with
you
your
you have to
doctors.
find what works for you.
Exactly. And I know it's a big thing for what I hear about certain women talking about when am I going to start feeling that ball getting bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing I hear about, you know, that women are fearful of getting big. And I'm like, you're pretty know that's part of the course, right? But
Mm-hmm.
how do you prepare for that part when you know the first part is not really showing too much, then all of a sudden it kind of hits you? Damn,
Like,
I'm
boom.
really pregnant now. You know, so how do you deal with that? How will you tell women to kind of brace themselves so they like surprisingly like around that fourth or fifth month it may just like blah blah. I'm here.
Definitely, first and foremost, every woman, single mother or not, a support system is most important in all of this. And when we first found out that we were pregnant, I was in denial. My husband was actually telling me, like, you're pregnant. And I was just like, no, I'm not. But when, the pregnancy test and the doctors confirmed everything, I was happy, but I was in shock. And I would say I was in shock so much because it was just like, okay, well, dang, I'm about to have a whole human growing inside of me. And, I don't know how I'm supposed to feel, like physically wise, not mentally. And it was like, well, when is my body going to start going through the changes? And do I need to change now? But I just, you keep in mind that you're pregnant, but you continue with your everyday life. I didn't start showing until I was about 4.5, 5 months. And literally it was like I woke up one morning and it was like you said, bam, I had a knot bulging out in front of me. And it's then that it kind of hits you like, I really am pregnant. Like this journey is really about to begin. Every woman shows differently. Some women start showing around 3 months. Hell, you have some women that don't show until like 6 or 7 months. But it's not so much as, it's nothing to freak out about. When is my body going to change? How should I react to it? Because the changes don't happen overnight. They gradually happen. So you're able to grow and learn your body as your body changes. What did I do? What was something I did? I know for the most part, a lot of women, they're big on passing on information like, oh, well, you're going to gain weight and you're going to do this and you're going to do that. Once again, everybody's different because I have lost weight since I've been pregnant, believe it or not. And I think the average weight of a woman during pregnancy may be about 20 pounds, give or take. And that depends, of course, on the woman, her body, and the growth of the baby. I actually lost 20 pounds within the beginning of my pregnancy, and I just started to pick back up, some of that weight that I lost. And it freaked me out because I was just like, well, I thought you're supposed to gain weight when you're pregnant. You're not supposed to lose weight. Like, I've been on my doctor the entire time, and my doctor had to let me know, like, that's perfectly fine. Like, it's normal in some cases as long as you're still eating right, as long as you're still taking care of yourself, you're taking your vitamins, everything still goes smoothly. Like, the process still goes.
I hear that. So, the last point we gotta hit is like the maternity clothes things. I know I've heard some different methods about that. I was told by one that she just got dresses, just kind of let the dresses form to her body. I know one told me she shopped at Goodwill and bought some sizes a little bit up. She went on maternity clothes or blah blah blah. So, and then she told me they wasn't very fashionable too, which I didn't know. I said I don't know about that either, but okay, I'll take your word for it. So, what are your thoughts for the women out here who are trying to clothe themselves while going through this process?
Maternity wear. I have actually learned that there aren't many maternity sections in clothing stores anymore, especially Walmart, because I live in Walmart. However, it's women
That's
who
what
shop
scares me.
women who shop online can find maternity sections, but if it's it wasn't too much of a big deal. So if you can just find something, as you're going along, a size, maybe 2 sizes bigger than what you wear, you should be good. It's really no big deal or no pressure on, oh my God, I have to find the maternity section. No, if a woman becomes pregnant and she's gonna be pregnant during the summer, by all means, get you a boatload of dresses so that you can be comfortable. Any other seasons, just kind of go a size or 2, sometimes maybe 3, depending on, the growth of the baby and your belly, up from what you normally wear. And you'll still be comfortable. You'll still be fashionable. And everything will go smoothly. Like, you can save those clothes if you plan on having another baby. If not, you can pass them on to someone else who becomes pregnant and has the same issue.
Amen to that. And I want to mention your business. I know you're running up against the break here, but you have a business called A Rich Taste.
I do.
If you can, in a minute or two, give us a little snapshot of your business so they can find out about your business on the web here in social media.
In a nutshell, my business is A Rich Taste. I am a mobile bakery. I specialize in jarred desserts. So, cakes, pies. I decorate, make it all cute in the jars. I also sell and supply whole cakes and whole pies. On Facebook, you can find me at A Rich Taste. On Instagram, at A Rich Taste. Email arichtaste@gmail.com. And for those who aren't savvy with the internet, if you would like to reach me via phone,
I'll do it for you. 850-764-2481. So call Wealthy at 850-764-2481. That's A Rich Taste.
Yes.
So, yes, good to have you on the show, Wealthy. We'll have you on again in the future here. Talk about A Rich Taste too. I know we're up against the break here, so I didn't want to get to the point where you can't finish your spiel. So, but we'll have you come back and talk about Rich Taste. Thank you for coming on the show today. We'll talk to you down the road. You be easy. Have a great week. Okay, we'll talk to you real soon now.
Thank you. You too.
All right, that's Wealthy Freeman on the Bossman Show.